Greetings, Group Nation, and welcome again to WTF, otherwise known as What the Flip, the reaction video channel that allows us to analyze, break down, and discuss topics and videos that are of some relevance to us. And today, I want to give a shout out to Brian and the crew from Whatever Podcast. Shout out to you, Brian. We're going to discuss what has to be one of the most unhinged videos I've had the displeasure of seeing. Let's call it up and let's see exactly how this works.
Care about him on the inside, like my attractiveness to him may differ, but like these are all things that can be fixed over time. Like if he's bald, he can get a hair transplant, or
what if he doesn't want to?
Okay, for context, Brian asked the super chat question: what if you had a boyfriend who had the status and wealth of Jonah Hill, but had the personality of the looks of a 10 in their eyes? And he said, babe, you don't have to work anymore. I got us covered. Would you go for it? That's the full context of the preceding video.
If he doesn't want to get a hair transplant, that's on him. But like, I'm not going to break up with him because he's balding.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not dating him for his hair. Yeah. Like, if a guy is going to break up with me for gaining 40 pounds for like whatever reason, like, at least be willing to have a conversation with your partner about your communication. Like, talk to them about it. Work through it if you can. Don't just give up. I feel like a lot of people just give up way too easily in relationships nowadays.
40 pounds would also usually denote some type of physical or mental health thing that's like really occurring. So typically the conversation would happen before you got to that tipping point.
I feel like I wouldn't be like, oh my god, like my boyfriend gained like 40.
Okay, this chick here, they call her Bangs, has to be one of the most delusional and annoying women that I've ever seen on any podcast to date. She makes Esther and DeNova look tame. And she said something, we're going to get into it a little bit later, but she said something before. And one thing that I don't like about Whatever is that Brian, the moderator, doesn't give enough pushback. And these women tend to say things, and I'm sitting here checking them myself, thinking that, okay, Brian's going to call him out on that, and he says nothing. And I'm like, what the heck?
Pounds. I don't like him anymore. I don't know. I feel like that's like really shallow.
You're not
along the way
chaser? What's going on?
Yes, I just said I love it when my men are thicker.
You like thick dudes?
Yeah.
Well, I think I don't know if it's a
like I really like this one guy when he can I say this real quick? I'm sorry, I like interrupted you.
Go ahead.
Okay, I really like this one guy. Sorry, I like tend to play with the cup, but I really like this one guy, and he was a little bit like chubbier, and then all of a sudden he started losing all this weight, and like started going to the gym, and like started getting like a really nice body. I kind of lost attraction. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, that's a wonderful story. That gives hope to all the dad bod guys out there. But as been stated on many occasions by many a podcaster, exceptions don't make the rule. Okay? They don't make the rule. So that may be true to you, and I doubt that. That's how much of a capper this woman is. I don't take anything she says seriously. But let's just say she's spot on with this. That's one situation, one anecdotal story out of hundreds of thousands of people in this country alone. So what are you saying? What exactly are you saying? You don't even know. I had to get my story out. Okay, you got it out. What does it have to do with the cost of tea in China? Huh?
I was like, oh, like I miss my chubby man. Like there is so much more to hug. And
So he got fit.
Yeah.
and you started losing attraction for him.
Yeah.
I don't know. You should see a doctor about that. But
It's
I don't know
they're
if it's a. I
squishy,
don't.
They're fun to hug, fun to cuddle with. They're not all hard and like.
Yeah, I think it's
stiff.
typically.
You're telling me that given the choice between a dad bod and a muscular guy, you're gonna go for the dad bod? Really? Is that what this is coming to? And it's like I said, she might be telling the truth, but I doubt it. I doubt it 150%. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Oh well. Hands up, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. But, I don't see it.
Within your right to like lose attraction to someone. If you were attracted to him for being chubbier in the first place and he lost weight, that's perfectly reasonable. But at the same time, like if someone started out as thin and got fat, which like and they could control it, like say male pattern baldness, you can't control that. Shaving your head, you can control that. But if they were to get fat, I think it's perfectly within the man's right to be like a step back from the relationship. I mean, sure, he should bring it up first or stop it before it's too late, stop it, whatever. But I think it's perfectly within anyone's right to like express that they don't feel attracted to their partner.
Okay, she makes sense. And she said, ideally, the couple should talk about it and try and hash out this and the other thing. But there's a problem in that. And the problem is, to bring that up to a woman, it's a court disaster. Women don't like the truth. As a whole, generally, women don't like the truth. Now again, I'm not speaking for the minority. There are girls out there who prefer you come straight out and be honest with them. Okay. They are an anomaly. They're an outlier. They are the exception. They are not the rule. As a whole, women don't like to be told the truth. And guys know this, which is why they lie. And people are like, I don't get it.
Yeah. Also, I mean, I don't know if a guy losing his hair is an apt comparison to
it's not a
gaining 40
comparison,
pounds.
but I just meant
No,
like
not
medically.
you. I mean,
oh yeah, I
think
just meant like medically gaining weight. Like if there's like a medical reason going on, I'd say that it's like sort of on the same kind of spectrum as the hair loss thing, like male pattern baldness. But when it's something that you do have control over, like liberty over, like if you choose not to lose the weight that you've gained, and if you went to the gym and you just easily lose it like that, I'd say that it's like perfectly like reasonable to be like, hey, I don't really feel attracted to you, I don't think this is going to work out, because that also reflects the person's lifestyle. And if this person has a lifestyle that might set the other partner back, you don't really want to be a part of that. And like I feel like not wanting to go to the gym, not wanting to improve, that reflects on the person as like, oh, they're lazy, they just don't want to change, they just want to like sit stagnant in this situation.
No, yeah, I see where you're getting at, but I think you can, if like your partner is gaining some weight, you don't really find them attractive, I think there's a nice way to say it, like, oh, like gym date, like you have to be like, you're getting fat, like.
And there it is. It's not that they don't like the message. They don't like the tone. I don't care how you say it. But then again, I'm a guy. But I don't care how it comes out. You can say, listen, I think you're gaining a little bit, you might want to cut back. Or you might say, you're freaking fat, lose the weight. Either way, I'm going to get the message. Now, in an ideal world, do I prefer have to be put a little bit nicer. Yes, but I am a guy, so I am a realist. I understand that different people talk different ways at different times. Women, on the other hand, for the most part, they don't get that. You have to be nicer to them. Why? Why do you have to be nicer to them? In the comments, I'm really curious to know why women feel it has to be put in a context that they'll understand. Because they understand it. They understand it. They just don't like the way it comes out. And to that I say, sucks to be you. Because it really, and I don't know because I should, it doesn't matter how it comes out. It doesn't matter at all. It's the message. Screw the messenger. It's the message. You can say you're fat, lose some weight, or you can say, hey, yeah, honey, I think you're putting a little bit extra on. You might want to go about changing your diet and changing this, that, the other thing. It's the same thing. You're fat. It's the exact same thing. So why should I change it? And full disclosure, I probably would change it. For a woman, I probably would. But that being said, there are times when things are just coming out of my mouth before I even had a chance to really think about it. I'm like, oh man. Should I have said that? Probably not. Did I say it? Yes. Should I have said that? No. Could I have said it differently? Probably. But, I mean, I don't get it. I truly and sincerely don't get it. You're not mad at what's being said. You're mad at the way it's being said. And it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the video.
Or how BB's boyfriend did it. Honestly, he did it great. Honestly,
Yeah,
if any guy was going to do it that way, then honey, that's fine. You can go ahead. That's
BB
fine.
was a little...
Very respectful.
There wasn't no reason to post that, BB.
No reason.
I don't know. Also, if she really loved him, I feel like she wouldn't really out him like that. You
Facts.
know? I
Very
feel like
true.
if I
So
love
true.
somebody, I'm gonna protect them no matter what.
Exactly.
Like, I don't want anyone.
I'd say she was already.
Wait, hold on.
Even if I was mad.
Didn't you just say earlier on in the show something about getting revenge on an ex?
I said, yeah, like, like sometimes you do want to get revenge, but like to put it out there in public and be like, I wouldn't come out.
Lies. Straight up lies. Because when you're putting it out there on blast, you're getting revenge. So if you would do that, if you would get revenge, then it's not with them out of the realm of possibility that you're going to out them on social media. And if you would out them on social media, that makes your whole point a lie. Are you lying then or are you lying now? But I know you're lying. You can't make this stuff up. You just can't.
Out here and be like, fuck my ex, like he was, like say all these like terrible things about them because, like, I feel like I've always, when I love somebody, I feel like I will always love them a little bit, that love will never like die for them, and I also have massive respect for these people that have.
Lies again. Love does die. Why? Because love is a feeling. It's transitory. It's not a permanent state. It's a phase. You can love somebody today and hate their guts tomorrow. So you always have love for them. No. Like the other thing I hate is when women say, I love you, I'm not in love with you. Bullshit. if you love somebody, you love them. If you're in love with somebody, what is the difference? And again, in the comments, you can put down below what you think. And if you're right, you're right. Again, hands up. I don't know everything. So if you show me that my point of view is incorrect, I'll tell you. I'm not perfect. I don't pretend to be perfect. I don't try to be perfect. I call it as I see it. I get it wrong. Doesn't stop me from still from saying what I gotta say.
Have once been a part of my life. Like, they came into my life for a reason, you know? And I wouldn't go out of my way to, like, post something, especially if I have, like, such a huge fan base and anyone and everyone can go and, like, attack them for no reason just because, you know, you needed that little hit of, like, feeling, like, validated, you know, validation. And I don't know, I feel like, I'm so sorry, BB, but I feel like it was a little immature. Especially because she's such a huge celebrity, and, like, all her fans are probably going to go attack that poor dude. Like, and he wasn't even, you know, he didn't do that. He didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, by the way,
out of the relationship.
Her boyfriend is not, like, super well known. Like, I think I looked him up. He's got, like, 10,000 followers on
that's even worse.
Instagram. So he doesn't have, like, the same level of,
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's way worse than.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just
she
like
didn't really love him.
she
I'm
just
so sorry.
sent the dogs after him, basically. Like, so.
She wanted to get her lick.
All right, let's get a couple soup chats, and we already did that one. Leon, if you ladies met a potential partner that was of the wealth and status of Jonah Hill, but with the looks of what you find a personally a 10, and they said, "Hey, babe, you can quit your job? I'll take care of us." Would you? I feel like
we already answered that.
Here is the question. This is the actual question that we were talking about earlier in the video.
Kind of answered it, but I'm sure.
Thing about that.
Would you quit your job? So, but this is directed at everybody here, not just the girls who do OnlyFans. So, that was of the wealth and status of Jonah Hill. Well, okay, so Jonah Hill is he an A-list celebrity? I think he is.
Yeah.
He's not like a leading man, but he's in major motion.
He pioneered most of comedy, as in, so, like, he pioneered it.
I feel like Jonah Hill's like
and
a really huge
producer.
name.
He, like, in other aspects
so he's
too.
Millionaire. Yeah. He's a millionaire. And just really quick, going back to the surfer chick situation. I think because he's a celebrity and because he's of his status, he's probably a little bit more concerned with what his partner is like putting out there on the internet, because he has a very public facing reputation to be considerate of, but for this.
Okay. That's what it's coming down to. It's coming down to his status brings a certain amount of responsibility and accountability on his part that he wants to extend to his significant other. And to sum it up in a nutshell, he was telling her the things that he prefers in a relationship. And if she doesn't want to do it, he's not mad at it. It is what it is. They'll go their separate ways, and he's fine with it. And to put a further bit of context on it, the tweet or the comment in that is the subject of this conversation is over 2 years old. So she waited 2 years to exact her revenge. 2 years. What does that make her? That makes her beyond petty. If you are going to wait 2 years to get your back on somebody, that ship has sailed. You're in different waters now. Why would you come back to something, and it's not even that bad, and attempt to out them on it. And there are people that came for Jonah. And it's like, why? He didn't say anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't call out her name. He was very respectful in his tweets. But she didn't like it. She got in her feelings. It was not just Dee. She was totally deep. And she got all in her feelings. But she waited over 2 years to get her back. You can't make this shit up. I'm serious. You cannot make this stuff up.
Super chat, Leon here. Looks of what you find a 10 out of 10. Okay, so the question is, would you quit your job for a guy who's an A-list celebrity or has that level status, is a millionaire many times over, and is a 10 out of 10 looks? I think this is an obvious, like,
well, I
you
think
quit
you
your
kind
job?
of need to consider, like, what if you hate their personality?
Yeah, if
like,
we're emotionally compatible as well, then yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
They're all capping. No, they're all lying. Because, as been stated many, many times, and even the question, this is the guy, this is your guy, this is the one. Does everything for you. Ticks all your boxes. And he says, hey babe, you can quit. I got us. Would you take that option? Personality has nothing to do with it. Nothing at all to do with it. It has everything to do with, would you take the option? Is it an option for you? And I got news for you. If you put these women in a room with, and each one of them found their guy, and their guy said, well, while it's fat, you don't have to work anymore, I got us. Go buy what you want, go do what you want, I got us. You don't have to work anymore. They're all taking it. They'll work with the personality. As long as it's not abusive, they're going to roll with it. Because that's what people are. If you got a choice, and you can get your leg up by being submissive to somebody who's got it, and they do everything for you, why would you not take it? I can't stand people like this.
Because they're rich and famous and hot, that's not everything.
here.
Yes, it is. It is everything. And you're saying that because you're on a podcast. You're saying that because you have hundreds of thousands of people looking at you. So you're going to say the politically correct thing. That's not how you feel. That's not the truth. It's something that you think is going to give you brownie points with men and other women. You go, girl. No. You don't go. You're lying.
Here, show of hands, would you quit
Most
your
likely,
job?
but like there's still a chance it wouldn't be the right.
If it's emotionally
Yeah.
compatible, then absolutely.
Again, lies. And again, Brian's not calling him out on it. Because the question simply bringing it down to its four core components, this guy does everything for you. He's a 10 out of 10 looks. He's got wealth, he's got money, he's got status, he's got fame. Takes all your boxes. And says to you, you don't have to work anymore. I got us. You can quit your job. And he doesn't even say, you quit your job. He can say, you can. So he's got our feelings in consideration. If you want to quit tomorrow, if you want to quit now, you can. I got us. If you want to work, that's fine too. It's not going to make a bit of difference to me either way. If the person had to work, bullshit.
All right. We have Bad ZXC here. Hey, thank you, man. Good to see you in the chat. Victor, ladies in 305. Oh, God. Okay. If you're upset with men setting boundaries, that is mad childish, yo. A boundary is a set of based on a level of comfortability with certain things. You can't accept boundaries, then don't be mad when men don't treat you like a lady and more of a piece of meat.
We don't give those type of men our time of day. So.
That's not what he said. Why are you being so contrary and stupid? That's not what was said. He's simply saying, if you're upset with men setting boundaries, then don't be mad when they don't treat you like a lady and more like a piece of meat. Whether you give them the time or they're not is immaterial. And again, that's politically correct. You're saying things to get the woman, yeah, that's the way. You're right. I got news for you. If this guy ticks all your boxes and sets boundaries, you're going to go for it. You're going to go for it. Because as many people have said, shout out to all the people in the manosphere who basically say the same thing, and they're saying that setting boundaries is the ultimate act of love and respect, because they're doing it to protect the woman from other people and from themselves. If they just say you can do whatever, they don't care. They don't care. But they say, wait, you shouldn't go here because of such and such. You shouldn't do this because of such and such. They care enough to say, wait a minute, you might not want to do this because it's going to adversely affect us. It's going to adversely affect you. And I don't want to see that, so please don't do it. That's what boundaries really are. Boundaries are things set in place in the main frame by a man to help protect a woman from herself and from others.
So.
Oh.
Men that set boundaries?
No, men that
Gotcha.
Treat you like a piece of
yeah,
meat.
that treat us like a piece of meat.
Oh, fuck. What?
I just don't agree with you saying that if you can't accept somebody's boundaries, because boundaries go both ways.
Yeah.
So
Again, Miss Contrary, it goes both ways. We're not talking about both ways. And in a traditional relationship, men lead, women follow. Whether you believe that or not, if you think that's true or not, is immaterial to the question asked. It is literally what it is. So how can you have something go both ways if you got one leader and one follower? And again, a woman can say things to her man that from a place of love and respect that he can take on board. But it is up to him to make the final decision. It took a long time for me to understand this. But I get it now. I get it. You obviously don't.
So if I'm Sarah, his surfer girlfriend, and I am having the conversation and I go, well, I'm going to keep my career and continue posting what I want, so I guess we're just not going to be in a relationship. That doesn't mean that she is devoid of humanity.
Yeah, but it does mean she's single. It does mean she's single. Like the saying goes, you don't have to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. You don't live here anymore. Because if you can't follow that, if you can't do that for me, if our relationship is that porous, that you can't even get on board with what I'm asking you to do, not telling you to do, asking you to do, then we don't have a relationship. If we don't have a relationship, you can go. And to quote the great Bill Cosby, don't mean nothing to me because I get another one just like you. You can go. See ya. Because I sure as hell don't want to be you. And I understand what Myron, shout out to Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit and Fresh and all those other people like that. I understand what they're talking about. How in the universe can you expect someone to love and admire you when they don't respect you? And you obviously don't respect your man. Obviously. And if you don't respect him, then what the hell are you there for? Again, it's coming down to a lot of these women, these 304s, these thoughts. Guys don't say no to you. Guys, and they don't say no to you because they want your sex. And then they wonder why, how come I'm not the full-time girl? He doesn't respect you. And men, as I've said many a time, men are covert in how they deal with women. Women are overt the way they deal with men. If a girl doesn't like you, she lets you know. And she'll friend zone you. And you won't get out of that unless and until she changes her mind. And normally that'll be she's at a certain point in her life where she can't get the guy that she wants, so she'll settle on the guy that she has. And as stated many, many times, the world is undefeated. And I don't care who says what. Women have a wall. Men, not so much. Is it fair? No, it's not fair. And it's not kind. It's not just. But it is. And I don't understand why there's such a contention. Why there's such a point of contention. Why so many women push back on it. It's true. It is way past true. You can reach a point in your life where your chances of a successful pregnancy will eventually go down to 0. At the age of 30, on the onset of the wall, you have used up 90% of your eggs, and you got about 6,000 at birth. Puberty, there's 3,000 up, so you use half of your eggs before you hit puberty, and then you lose 90% of it by the time you're 30. So you have less than 1,000 eggs left. Less than 1,000. Now my stats, they could be wrong, and if I'm wrong and proven wrong, I'll own it up. I'll own it. Because again, I can be wrong, And I will be wrong from time to time. There's no shame in it. But
Well, I'd say
Wait,
that
what?
certain behaviors might lead to men mistreating you. Like, there's certain, like, the way that you portray yourself, for example, not to, like, blame anyone, but, like, if you have, like, a history of promiscuity, it might lead men to be more...
But do you think that that's okay?
I don't think it's okay, but I think that it's, like,
Then why justify it?
I'm not justifying it.
it's not about justification. She's accepting it. When you justify, you try to sway someone to your opinion by stating facts, statistics, or anecdotes. That's justifying it. She's not justifying it. She's acknowledging it and she's stating it as a fact. She accepts the fact. She accepts the premise that promiscuity leads to less favorable outcomes in the dating scene. Is she wrong? No. She's not wrong.
And I think it's within their reason to maybe react that way to you. Like, if you present yourself as a certain kind of person, if
We
they
avoid those men.
I mean, that is a broad generalization with men and women. Like, women can make assumptions of men and how they put themselves
Sure.
out there as well. So, I mean, obviously,
Sure, like,
people
if
are
I
going to judge
say,
you
like-
based off of what you post and how you put yourself out there.
Yeah, but that, like, again, like, your actions and what you do, what you wear, like, sadly, it does play a big part on how people might treat you. Like, if I showed up here just in a bra or something, people would be like, oh, she's a whore. And that's perfectly within their right to assume that or think that.
But why?
because of-
You said you're not justifying it, but that is justifying it, saying that it's within their
It's
right.
not necessarily, like, justifying it, but it's sort of like,
Accepting it. There. Fixed it for you.
could see where they're coming from. Like, if I saw this, like, fuckboy, like, some guy getting drunk at a party, like a frat guy, I might be like, oh, no, I don't really want to have relations with him, you know, and I'm perfectly justified within my right, you know. People make judgments based on your character, based on what you're wearing, based on everything. I think that judgments, while they may not be, like, substantiated, while they may not, like, be true of you, I think that everyone has judgments, and
It's really hard. I do make a lot of judgments, and I try really hard not to, because I personally don't want people making judgments about me.
Then why do you make judgments? You just contradict yourself right there. And again, no pushback from the host. I can see why so many women like to come on this show. They can say what they want and get very little pushback. You can be an OnlyFans, you're not going to get any pushback. You can be a sex worker, there's no pushback. You can say anything that you want, and there's a really good chance that you won't get any pushback, or the pushback could be so light, they might as well not be there. You just contradicted yourself. Where's the outrage? Where's the pushback?
So I think that goes both ways.
Yeah.
And there's that both ways argument again. No. No. It doesn't go both ways. If you are promiscuous, and you're and a guy, as opposed to a promiscuous girl. Promiscuous girl are recreational use only. Promiscuous guys are status symbols. Don't hate the player, hate the game. There's a reason why people say that. You can be, if you're a guy that's promiscuous, you have to have certain things in place to be that way. Because the end result of any guy's interaction with a girl is to have sex. So if you can have sex with multiple women, your game has to be on point. Has to be. A woman, not so much. You just have to be there. And again, you don't have to be that pretty. I keep saying this again and again and again. Shout out to MC Search from third base. You're on an island, all alone, 300-pound white girl. No one to see this. And that's the part that no one seems to understand. Boom, I dropped my food like a chemist. I'm going to get my rocks off. And no one's going to see it. No one. She's contained, and I'm a lame brain from doing the wild thing. Kick the large thing off of my swing, and then it goes to the end. Recreation use only. You can hate somebody's guts as a man and still smash. If I hate your guts as a woman, you ain't getting anywhere near me. Is that fair? No. Again, it is what it is. Let's get back to the videos for some more. Hit it.
Word? Okay. Mr. Fire and Eyes. Love the show, Brian. Currently living in Japan and love my current girlfriend over here and makes it easy to see the red flags majority of women in the U.S. What's y'all thoughts on passport bros?
Red.
Okay. Here's where I get to rip these women a brand new asshole.
Flag.
Big red flag.
Big red flag.
Big red flag. Let's see if any one of these women can tell us exactly why it's a red flag.
Why is that?
You just
why
can't
is it
get
a
a
red
you
flag?
just can't get a woman over here.
And she's judging. I don't like to judge, and then turns around and judges. You don't know anything about the guy. All you know is that he wants to try his luck abroad because he's not finding what he needs here.
That's it.
I
So you're
mean,
like,
could it-
bye, I'm
could
gonna
it
go
be
find
that-
somebody else that doesn't know anything about me, and I'm just gonna flaunt that I am from a Western state and say that, oh, I'm gonna provide for this girl who probably doesn't have an education or is looking for a way out.
Again, you're projecting how you feel on other people, and that ain't right at all. Where's your humanity? I try not to judge people, and then you judge people every freaking chance you get. Every single chance you get, you judge somebody. You judge the man. You judge that woman. You don't know anything about them. You know nothing. And the way I look at it, if that's what you got to do to be happy, then go for yours. My wife is British. I met her over here, but she's not an American woman. And again, I've said this time and time again. If something were to happen to my wife tomorrow, and I lost her, I would grieve, I would mourn, and I'd be done with it. I'm not putting myself through this again. I got my children, and most importantly, I have my memories of the love we have for each other, or had. And that's what I need. That's all I need. I may smash from time to time, but that's as far as it's going. The delusion. And she feels perfectly in the right to say what she said. Not even beginning to understand that she's doing the very thing she's shouting at other people for doing.
so. Red flag. Red flag, sir.
I think that maybe this is me making an assumption, but that passport bros just have a fetish for exotic foreign women that have traditional values. But that's okay. Everybody's allowed to have their fetishes.
Is it a fetish to want a woman with traditional values?
I mean, if they're outsourcing it specifically from anywhere else to have a foreign woman, I would say so.
But if it's devoid in the States, then wouldn't they go elsewhere?
It's not.
Okay. I think her name is Amy. She's been one of 2 people on this platform, her and the girl sitting right next to her. Not the blonde, the other one. Who have been the voice of reason and a sea of estrogen-fueled hysteria. If you can't find what you want in your current situation, why wouldn't you go elsewhere? What is insanity? Insanity is the act of doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result each time. Dating an American woman, or dating American women, and coming up with the same result, time after time after time, is insane. Nothing's changing. And again, for those out there who may say, I'm not like that, this ain't about you. This isn't about you. If you don't, if the shoe does not fit, discard it. Keep it moving.
Not
I'm
devoid in
sure
the States.
we have one right
it's
here.
a lot more difficult to
It's pretty
find.
bad.
We have
So
one right
In
here.
Western countries.
You're saying
One
so like
of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So she's 1 in 10. So apply that to the general population. It's really not that easy for the average guy.
I'm sure that if he wanted to, he could find
Yeah,
one.
why go all...
You're fucking stupid. You could get somebody. You're a pretty girl. You'd be prettier than all those tats, but you're a pretty girl. So yeah, ain't no thing for you. Ain't no thing at all for you to you could go out right now. Stand out in the street corner saying, who wants some? And you have a flock of guys running up to you saying, I'll take it, I'll take it. You could be a fly guy, do the same thing, and you'll get shot down more times than people say yes. And that's the problem. Women see things through the lens of women. It's not a bad thing, but it's not a correct thing. If you want someone of some substance, you have to look at things through their viewpoint. You just have to.
all the way. Like, why make this huge treacherous journey to like go find a girl?
Treacherous.
Treacherous.
I mean, it's
They're doing
pretty
spells
safe.
and shit. Like,
No, because he's literally like pioneering. Like, when you think of it, he's like.
Is he on the open seas in like the fucking Mayflower? Like, hello?
That's what they
I'm
act
sure
like.
it's not easy talking to
weeks.
foreign women.
They all got skirt.
You know, wait a minute. You know, this chick really rubs me the wrong way. Really, honestly and truly. She rubs me the wrong way. Because she has all these extraneous, superfluous, crappy things that she has to interject into it. It's not easy to talk to a foreign girl. it's going to be easier than talking to an American girl who's not going to like you off rip. And again, if you feel that you stand a better chance of meeting someone and being happy outside of your wheelhouse, then you need to be outside your wheelhouse. You have to be. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck being by yourself, looking at these women saying, why can't I be happy? Cool J said it the best. In his song, I Need Love, he states, I can't sit and wait for my princess to arrive. I have to struggle and fight to keep the dream alive. Those words are what more men should live by. A woman is not going to run up to you, bite you in the bottom and say, here I am, take me. Because women don't go after men. Men chase women. Women don't chase men for the most part. Again, does it happen from time to time? Yes. But the women that do it, you're not going to like it. They're not going to want to do it. And so they'll be passed. Let's do a little bit more of this, then we'll wrap it up.
Curvy.
No, I'm sure it's not that easy, like going out and like talking to like foreign women, you know?
I mean, I just think it's really bizarre to say that it's not available in the United States. There's 150,000 women that exist in the United States, and if you go to especially more conservative areas of the country, I am 1,000% sure that it wouldn't be a 1 in 10 situation if 10 women sat down. It would probably be way more trad wife in Texas and in Louisiana, Mississippi, etc. than it is here. We live in Los Angeles.
I mean,
Also, it's probably
No. Because, as been stated, shout out to Pearl, shout out to King Riches, shout out to the Angry Man, Anton Daniels, Donovan Sharp, Rollo Tomasi. Women swipe left or swipe right 5% of the time. That's stat number 1. Stat number 2. Women find 80% of men unattractive. Not okay. Not even meh. Ew. You give me the ick. And most importantly, and I can't believe I have to say this, but the guys that are going out there and being passport bros, why do you fucking care? You don't want them. If a passport bro came to you tomorrow and said, let's talk, I want to be your girlfriend. Ew, no. So why do you care? The same thing with when I went way back in the day when my wife and I were in Manhattan. And these girls he's taking another one of our men. You didn't want me. You weren't even thinking about me. You didn't think about me after I left. Out of sight, out of mind. But you just had to say something. Why do you care? Why is it that you felt the need to say something about somebody who makes me deliriously happy? Why? A little bit more.
Probably 1 in 10 because I'm sure many traditional women are outsourcing to go on a controversial podcast to like put themselves out there in the public eye. So of course it's going to be 1 in 10. I feel like that's a weird
Oh,
statistic.
we got Exhibit A over here.
Right.
She's waiting till marriage. She's been celibate for 3 years and 4 months. How many days has it been? Into Mike?
I don't do math. How many days?
Yeah, like what?
What do you mean days?
Like, I need it to the hour.
Oh God.
There goes to Myron's take. Women can be stupid, but they'll be all right. I don't do math. Who doesn't do math? Who? I don't do math. Let a guy say I don't do math. You'd be laughed out of the building. Out of the building. And she says, I'm celibate. Because you haven't met the guy that does it for you yet. But you did at one point, because if you were a virgin, that's one thing. You're celibate, which means you had sex at some point and you stopped. There's a huge difference. Someone who's celibate is someone who's had sex in the past and for whatever reason decided not to go that route anymore. Virgin means they haven't had any sex from anybody at all, ever. I just get so tired of this double and triple speak, this talking out the side of your neck. And again, no pushback from the host. And again, that's why I think you do so well in getting 9, 10, 12 women on your panel, because they can say what they want. Let Myron speak on a panel and let that chick say, I don't do math. The next thing I was about to see, I told you, women can be dumb as fuck, and they're fully accepted for it. You couldn't be in my house. You couldn't roll with me. It's not even that the math's not mathing. The math's not existent in your head.
Oh my God. This hour.
3 years, 4 months, 22 days, 12 hours.
Yeah, 9:25
Okay,
p.m.
that's exactly what it is, rock and roll. So yeah, he's currently in Japan, Mr. Fire and Ice.
Can I ask you a question?
What's up? What you got?
What is like, I think maybe I've even asked you this before. What is like your dream girl?
My dream.
And that's what I'm going to call it. What's your dream girl? Why? Are you auditioning for the role? No. Then why the fuck do you care? I can't take this anymore. I just can't. You have no interest in me whatsoever, which is fine. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'll be the first to admit that. But if I'm not your cup of tea, then why would you even ask that question? Unless it's a gotcha question. You don't care about me. You never cared about me. You haven't, you don't, and you never will. So why in the name of decency would you ask the question, what are you looking for in a girl? I'm curious. No, you're trying to catch me out in something. Everybody's like, ooh. Man up, homie. Man up. I'll say it. man up. And we're going to call it this video is 6 hours, 31 minutes, and 5 seconds in length. You can pretty much spend the better part of a day watching it. I didn't. Because after this, I pretty much turned it off. But I do know that at some point in the video, it gets pretty heated. And words are back and forth and this, that, and the other thing. And then you have Brian sitting there eating popcorn, watching the back and forth. And the clicks are there because he got over 6,000 likes. So 6,000 views. No, 149,000 views and 3.6 thousand likes. So he's doing something right. I can't. Not if I want to keep my sanity about me. They'd get me drinking. So we're gonna put a pin in it. We might come back to it another time. I doubt it, because I can't take it. So we've come to the end of this podcast. Thank everyone who took the time out to watch it. Thanks to anyone who decided to comment about the things I asked them to comment about. And remember, we move in the power of 5. Like. Free. Comment. Free. Subscribe. Free with the added value of getting on our list. Notify via notification with the added benefit of being one of the first to find out when we come out with new content. Share. If you like it, chances are somebody in your friend group will like it. Put them up to it. Hit them up on it. I'm not going to beg anymore. It is what it is. If you want to like it, like it. If you don't. I'm going to do this for as long as I can because it needs to be done. It needs to be done. Someone's going to say it. Someone's got to say it. Might as well be me. This is OBJ. Thanking you all for taking the time out to watch. Saying to you, be careful out there. Show kindness and love when you can. Do better in things that you can. Acknowledge the things you can't. And later, y'all. Peace out.